right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash, the honors, unto the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the Holy Spirit and the sincere peace, blessings, and salutations to you, Akim, across the four corners of the earth that are preaching this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. This is the Brother Barzal from the GMS Arizona Camp Roseville. Another good lesson edified through the Holy Spirit to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the true children of Israel according to the scriptures and according to the prophecy. Shalom. I was listening to this video. This the brother Gabar from our camp shared this video in the chat. You know, and when we had a sit down, he had mentioned, you know, what the video was going into. You know, so I finally got a chance to start listening to it, and I'm only like 5 minutes in, and I already had to pause the video, you know, and record this because of what's being said. You know, like I said, I'm only 5 minutes in, and you know, I just wanted to make a few comments. And what I want to say is, now, what was it? It's been since March of 2020, when the pandemic first took place, up until now it's 6 years later. And you know what happened during that pandemic? You know, people were rolling up their sleeves, doing what they felt that they had to do to keep them safe, despite there being warnings from many different places, primarily from the prophets, against trusting your enemy, against trusting this devil. And I'm speaking primarily to you Israelites, okay, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You were warned against this, but you know, you had Israelite leaders, you know, like Bishop Nathaniel, the IUIC, like General Yohana of the ISUBK, that told you that this was okay. But in this report, you know, this is just more proof that not only, you know, Lord willing, this video don't get taken down. You know, I'm trying to, you know, speak with salt. But not only was this thing causing people to, you know, causing people to unalive, but also we're learning the other angle and the other things that JAB is doing within the people's bodies, you know. And this is what the report was going into. So, hey, fair use. I'm going to play a quick clip of, you know, some of the rhetoric that they saying, because they are explaining how an MI6 agent came forth. And the guys that are speaking are the ones who produced. There was a documentary that came out called Die Suddenly that was really popular during the pandemic, and you know, going into some of the clots and stuff that people were experiencing. But they said that they were contacted by a MI6 agent that wanted to give his testimony of, you know, what this thing was all about. And so this is them explaining what he said. So I want you to hear it, because these nano I'm trying to, like I said, speak with salt. I don't want to say too much, but you know, there's technology in this, and that technology that, you know, is on a nano level, is a receiver that can receive messages and ultimately can transform each and every individual into basically taking commands. So someone else outside of you can control your mind, can control your thoughts, can control your actions. All right, and ultimately, what does this devil want? You know, he wants the control of Yahweh Shai's creation. He wants to be able to control you, each and every individual. This is what he's in pursuit of. You know, ultimately, Thessalonians says that Let's get that real quick, and then I'm gonna play the clip. Let's get that Thessalonians. It says that First Thessalonians. Slovakia, let me find it, man. I'm tripping. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:4. It says 2 and 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. The man of sin being Esau Edom, the so-called white man, who right now, pursuant to Job 9 and 24, is in control of the earth. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God, sitting in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And that's what he's trying to do through his technology. You know, the scriptures describe the Most High Yahweh as omnipotent. And that word omnipotent goes into all-knowing, all-seeing, you know, and he has unlimited power. And this is the level that the so-called white man sees himself, and he's trying to project himself to be. He wants to be on that level. You know, he's trying to set himself above the stars, above the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's ultimately because the Lord put that level of pride upon this man. Okay, so this man of sin, he has a plan, and he thinks through his technology he's going to be able to control all things, see all things, all right, the way that Yahweh Shem Yahushai can. Okay, so anyway, all you people that didn't take heed to the warning, and you got the juicy juice flowing in your veins, don't be surprised if, you know, people that are close to you that have taken this just lose it. One day they lose it. You know, this devil send out a signal blast, and then everybody just start going crazy. Okay, because you didn't take heed to the warning of the prophets. Let's listen to a little bit of this video. Fair use, fair use. I'm just using this for informational purposes only.
He was a part of this program and basically being asked to be removed from this program?
Yes, and also trying to get damages and kind of compensation for what this program did to him. You know, what Jesse's describing, it sounds fantastical. It sounds like science fiction. But the truth is, Clayton, we're not in World War II anymore. We're not in the 1940s. This kind of technology, as Jesse has noted on many interviews and in a lot of the coursework that he has been studying and producing in most of his life. We go back to Project Artichoke. In the 50s and 60s, this was a dream. This was a mission. This was a goal. Well, it's 2026, and that goal has been realized. And the goal simply, again, is that we have a version of synthetic telepathy. And I think it's...
You hear that? So he said the word synthetic telepathy, right? Synthetic telepathy. So the definition of telepathy, it says telepathy is the purported direct transfer of thoughts, feelings, or mental images from one person's mind to another without using known sensory channels or physical interaction. Often regarded as a form of extrasensory perception or mind reading, it is considered a paranormal phenomenon rather than a scientifically proven capability. All right, so now this devil is moving to a point where he has the technology to pull this off. And you gave the nigga consent, whether, you know, fully knowingly or not. You know, you did something that you shouldn't have done, and now that nigga got you. Because how do you, if this is true, how do you get that technology out of your body now that it's in there? Nobody knows. So now you stuck, and you're gonna have to deal with the consequences unless Yahweh Shem Yahushai has mercy upon you. This is why it's important to take heed to the warnings of the prophets. It's a matter of life and death. You fuck around and get in a jam that you can't get out of, all right? Let's listen to a little bit more.
Telepathy. And I think it's less more be about the communication. Communication is already pretty, foundational. But the fact that the government can remotely torture someone, and this is the story, and we talk about with Havana syndrome victims. That's not just government workers or CIA or State Department officials. This is happening to regular people, people that are being targeted for various reasons. And what was described to us wasn't unique to just MI6. The way it was described to us is that every Five Eyes nation is not only using this, but actively trying to find new inventive ways to deploy it, such as, what if you could convince people of a certain political ideology or religion or maybe of a certain task by talking to them like you're the voice of God. And this was the case with, right, the way he described this, the man we spoke to in England. It was something he couldn't stop. It could feel like a distant conversation, a constant voice in your head. Maybe some would misidentify it as God or misidentify it as their internal conscience. But in the case of this, what if it's used in an election? What if it's used while we're bombing Iran? We're telling the people in the country, surrender, surrender, your officials are all dead.
Bro, this shit goes deep, man. The shit that this devil is doing goes deep. This nigga is a madman. This is Isaiah 32:7. It says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. You know, his devices would be his wicked plans and his plots. You see, so this whole thing was never about the C-19. This was about him furthering his agenda. And it always is, man, with this man. He is a master of deception. So you Israelites got to stay tuned in to the spirit, you know, because the spirit, you know, the spirit guides you to all truth. And then you're not going to get taken advantage of by this devil's wicked devices. 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Why? Because we got the Holy Spirit guiding our steps. You know, we got Yahweh Shem Yahushai guiding our steps. We're making all the decisions that we make through the Spirit. Okay? If it's in opposition to the ways and the righteousness of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then we ought to avoid it. We're not doing it, you know, and that's going to help you to avoid mistakes that can cost you your life. You know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know how this devil moves. We know what he's about. Okay. We know that he is seeking to slay the poor and the needy, you Israelites. He has a perpetual hatred. You know, Ezekiel 35. Okay? So, you know, be not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know, this is just further exposing that you people, you know, is yet to be manifested the full extent of what that did. But slowly and surely, now that we're 6 years down the road, we're starting to learn more and more about what it can do. And as this devil is in the dark, okay, perfecting his wicked devices, is going to manifest more and more, okay, the level that the level of damage that thing is going to do to the majority of the people, man. So with that, I just wanted to make those few points. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, and peace to the hope of the elect. Shalom.